questions and respond to you guys from my stories yesterday about sending IEP drafts, proposed drafts, home 2 weeks before the IEP meeting. And one thing that keeps coming up, and I'm totally here for it, is writing the IEP at the actual IEP meeting. I have never done it that way only because the districts and schools that I've worked for have never done it that way. But that is 100% best case scenario because everyone gets to be a part of writing the IEP and parents get to be an active, engaged, involved part of writing the IEP, and they maybe don't feel like anything was predetermined or chosen for them and they just have to say yes. So 100%, I am here for writing the IEP at the actual IEP meeting. And I know some of you are like, what? Let me explain what I would do in that situation if I had to write an IEP at the meeting. If you're writing an IEP at the actual IEP meeting, you may feel like you're going in with like a blank slate. And that's the whole point because parents are supposed to be a very integral part of building the IEP. And so is everyone else on the IEP team. But what you can do as a special education teacher is before the IEP meeting, sit down and look at all of the data from the last year. Look at your work samples. Look at where the grade level peers are. Look at all of that data. Sit down, have the data ready for the IEP meeting. That way you can be like, here's what the data says. Here are my suggestions of where maybe we should be writing IEP goals or what accommodations may be needed. Here's what accommodations we used last year. Here's maybe what didn't work so well. And then you can kind of you can share that information in the IEP meeting, and then the team together can determine, yes, that is an appropriate IEP goal for the next year. Yes, that is an appropriate accommodation and service for the next year. So there are things you can do ahead of time to not be a blank slate. Blank slate meaning you may be feeling anxious that there is a completely blank IEP and you have to write the whole thing from scratch at the IEP meeting. Which to that I say, there is no time limit on IEP meetings. So they don't 30 minutes, like that is not a time frame. 40, like if it takes 3 hours, it takes 3 hours. If it takes 3 meetings, it takes 3 meetings. Like there's no law in IDEA that says that it has to be within 45 minutes or there's a time cap on the IEP meeting. So anyway, I went off on a tangent there. Completely here for it. And if that is how you do it at your current school, I know that is not, I don't want to say the norm, but I know that that is not what traditionally happens. Totally here for it though. So if you do this at your school, will you please send me a message and tell me more about it so that I can share more about it with everyone else who may be thinking that they want to try this. If you don't want to try this, completely okay too though.